Oh boy. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, and welcome to another video today. So I'm getting on the highway here. I wanted to talk about a few things that were on my mind and something that I haven't covered yet on this channel, and that's, well, KTM's current issues. And I'm not just talking this bike, because I haven't had any lately, but their bankruptcy issues. It's, yeah, I'm not going to get into all the hard details or the facts or anything like that. There's plenty of videos out there and information that you guys can comb through. This is just simply my opinion. Yay, the internet, driving nothing but opinions and less facts. But regardless, as you guys have known over the last couple months and even starting in 2024, KTM has been in some hot water, especially when it comes to the B word, bankruptcy. Now, I would think that a large brand with multiple different conglomerates are, well, I don't know, doing their thing, right? You know, you would think that they have some sort of plan, especially when they're up $3 billion. And then have dropped $2 billion to make them a $1 billion company. Yeah, that hasn't done them any favors. Ooh, Porsche. Uh-oh, something happened there. But regardless, KTM is in hot water. And, you know, I compare them to the rest of the brands, right? You know, comparing bikes to bikes. And KTM is weird because they don't really have much else than motorcycles. I mean, you look at KTM as a brand, they have Gas, they have Husqvarna, they had MV Agusta, which they dropped, and that's pretty much all they did, was just simply motorcycles. Let's look at Honda, let's look at Yamaha. Honda makes cars, Honda makes generators, Honda makes so much other stuff, like Yamaha makes freaking pianos, not just motorcycles. So if one of those manufacturers has some, you know, extra free time, extra R&D, has maybe just the incentive to go win some races, they can, with the backup of, hey, we're still selling a whole bunch of other stuff, so if this one doesn't necessarily work out, we're okay. I mean, it's kind of like when you look at Norton. Norton's been filed for bankruptcy 10 times! 10 times! KTM's on, I believe, their third? So, you know, from a bankruptcy standpoint, from that brand standpoint, do I think they're going away? Do I think this is it for KTM? Do I think that this is, well, all she wrote? God, that is always so fun. But no, do I think KTM as a brand is going to just disappear, just melt into the ethos and never be around again? No, definitely not. You know, bankruptcy is not an uncommon thing in the business world. It kind of happens more often than you think. It's basically just when a company says, hey, we borrowed a bunch of money, we made some money, but we didn't make enough to pay back your loans. So how about we do this? We'll file for bankruptcy, we'll give away a whole bunch of assets and control, and then we won't have to pay off those loans. So that's basically what they're doing. And with that, they are starting to absolutely liquidate motorcycles. I mean, the prices of some of these bikes, as you guys know, I've been kind of tossing around the idea of adding another bike to the stable, and I've ridden a whole bunch of different bikes. I mean, I went to demo days, I've done other fun stuff on the channel, and I had an adventure bike in mind. I wanted the Aprilia Touareg 660 because it was powerful, it was light, the amount of features for the price, it was just perfect. I rode it, it was fun, there was enough there to keep me entertained. I mean, it was great. But from there, I don't know if I'm supposed to, do I keep going or, okay, no one's gonna say anything, all right. But that was gonna be the bike for me. You know, I was comparing it to a Tanneray 700, and while the Tanneray was great, it just didn't have the features that I was necessarily looking for, because this is going to be a bike for longer road trips and going to be more off-road and going to be more of a daily rider than this, you know, extremely built to the max thing. But anyway, I looked online and a dealership close to me is selling a 2024 KTM 890 Adventure R for $100 more than that Aprilia. $100! They took $3,000 off the total price. For the first time that KTM 890 Adventure R is within my price range. It's within that Aprilia price range, and there's so many better things about that bike that the only thing that stopped me from even looking at it was the price. I mean, I'm not paying, you know, what, almost $16,000 for an adventure bike. Like, for me, that just seems like too much. But now being at what, $12,800, $12,799 compared to $100 more for that over the Aprilia. I mean, hello, KTM, go out of business more often. This is great. You're giving me awesome bikes at a way discounted rate. Now it also brings up the same concern of, well, if you buy that brand new bike and they go out of business, who the hell is going to make parts for them? And again, there are so many manufacturers out there that make parts for these bikes. I mean, you look at KTM twins, you look at Rottweiler, that I've put more Rottweiler parts and bought from them on this motorcycle than anybody else. The amount of support in Europe, I don't think that any of those, you know, kind of KTM closing forever and never having parts for existing motorcycles would ever happen. Just at least my opinion. So then I think another relevant question would be, what's gonna happen to a 690? I mean, I've only seen one video teased on the brand new 690, and I've seen both the 390 and the 125 SMC R, right? Something like that. And while the 390 SMC R and Enduro are really cool, I don't, why? I don't get it for the US market. I get it for other markets, for, you know, a lot of the, you know, Asian country markets, Indonesian markets, like the rest of the world. A 390 makes sense, right? There's limitations over in Europe, and I'm probably going to butcher this, of what you can actually buy for CC range for your first bike. So entry level, boom, there you go. For a lot of other countries that can't afford or have the space for big, powerful motorcycles, boom, there you go. And we got to think that's a majority of the world, not just America. Right? In America, we can kind of get every single model that we want. Almost. But at the same time, like, you know, KTM's doing a business decision that's based on their highest people purchasing, which is not America anymore. People just aren't purchasing their street bikes anymore. So what are they doing? They're building models for the rest of the world that will buy their motorcycles. So that's how we get the 390 and the 125. But the 690, is it going to come back? Is it going to be a thing? I quite think it will be. But this is kind of fun over here. They have this little model train area that's a lot of fun, and people actually, you can ride little trains around and all this other kind of crap. It's over by the water park, and this is the kart track over here. So nice and close. But yeah, they've got little train stations and whatnot. It's rather intriguing. You think motorcycle riders are a bunch of weirdos because they stand around and talk about motorcycles. Just imagine, there's train people out there too. See, there's even more track over here. Like, there's a little town. Like, so cool. Anyway, so needless to say, I'm really excited to see what KTM comes up with for the new 690. I have a feeling it's going to be an entire refresh. I don't like the way the 390 is looking. I mean, put your opinion down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you guys think of the new look of the 390. But I don't like it. I think it's too much here, and you know, opinions aside, if I had, you know, the money to buy some sort of smaller supermoto, I also wouldn't be buying a 390. I would mostly be buying like a 500. I'd buy a 450 and convert it, you know, build it, maybe an older one, kind of like my Honda that's for the kart track, but make it for the street. I wouldn't buy this 690 in a smaller version. I wouldn't. I'd rather have a true supermoto. To which, yes, this is a true supermoto. Okay, well, it's close enough, right? To where the 390, I just don't see a benefit to it. You know, buy the 450 and convert it. Buy a pre-converted bike. Buy a DRZ 400. Like, you know, there's so many other options within that price range, you know, in the United States that are even more fun. The whole point of the 690 is to have way more power than any other supermoto would. So, whatever, I'm just gonna circle and continue to circle on this topic. But I'm excited to see what KTM comes up with the new 690, and hopefully when I'm at the AIM Expo in Las Vegas next month, I'll be able to see and sit on the new 690. That would be so good. I would love to see that and give that to you guys. That'd be so cool. But either way, Well, I guess to conclude everything, I don't think KTM's going anywhere. I like the fact that their higher end adventure bikes are now within my price range, hopefully alluding to something coming in the future. And the 690, as I am sure they will continue it, will probably go through a ton of changes. Now with this family growing, we have the opportunity to see maybe even something a little bit bigger than the 690. Maybe we have the opportunity to see a 790. That would be, yeah. I mean, maybe? Ooh, that was a new Z! Either way, you know where I stand on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you think is going to happen to not only the brand, but the 690 line and what is to come of the SMC R family, or SMC family, in the future. Leave it in the comments down below. And if you've got any other thoughts or ideas for videos, also leave it in the comments down below. And life is getting busier for me here, but I'm trying to make everything work. And yeah, really excited for kind of a little bit warmer weather so I can start getting more up into the mountains. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope we could start a discussion, and I really want to hear from you. So until next time, remember, keep riding. Oh, hard on the front brake. Here we go.